don't just say hi, because I'm never going to respond. I'm not going to respond to a hi. I get a million of these. You heard us talk about how to create a good Twitter profile. You even saw us rebuild Vishal's profile, Jason Vishal on Twitter. Go check him out. And today, I want to talk about Twitter direct messaging, because if you go into my Twitter DMs, you'll see a lot of people that have no idea how to get a response from a direct message. So let's talk about that. What do you actually need to send to get the attention of the people you want to get attention of? Let's talk Twitter DMs today on the channel. Let's go. Before we jump into it, make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button. Vishal, you want to tell people to like the channel, like the videos?
Please like our video, like the channel, and subscribe for this.
Subscribe down below, because we're also giving a Rolex away at the end of the year. 1 million subs equals one beautiful Rolex date. Just watch. Everyone hates Twitter DMs. Every influencer knows. SassWiz, always talking about how he hates Twitter DMs. Black Hat Wizard, Daniel, hates DMs. And I keep my DMs open. Even Oliver, we had Oliver Kenton on the channel. He closed his DMs. And the reason why is because this is what you get. So you can see, Sutirtha says, do you teach coding? Question mark. Zishan Ali says, hi, but it's missing the E. It says HY. This girl sent a photo. Hi, babe, I'm Joyce from New York. And I'm not clicking this photo. I'll click the photo. Someone blur this photo if it's weird. Oh, okay, it's not that bad. Just her in a bathing suit. How to join LinkedIn. So this is what most people are sending, and I want you to see this because we want to talk about what to do and do not. Okay? Vishal has also been on the receiving end of some DMs as we're promoting. What has been your experience getting these cold DMs?
You know, really what some messages are really annoying. And I don't like these messages, like some people like, hey, are you really an assistant of Alex? Like what I do. I'm assistant, yes. Should I need to show you a proof for this? And some guys are really, truly lovable to see message, hey, I need that Alex say me to DM you and I need to meet up, please, can I? I like those messages.
Right.
Yeah.
So this just short and direct messages. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts. I also want to show you one of the greatest things. Why are we even talking about Twitter DMs? Twitter is one of the greatest platforms I've ever seen in terms of the greatest people in the world. Billionaires like Elon Musk are on there, and you can send them messages. They have open DMs. You can send them messages, and sometimes they respond. So Twitter gives you access to billionaires, venture capitalists, the startup founders that you look up to. And most of them are here with open DMs. So when we talk about cold email being the great leveler, cold email and Twitter DMs are very similar in terms of free access to whoever you want. And yet, most people are abusing this by sending DMs like, hey, or nothing like that. So let's talk about what you need in terms of actually mastering DMs, because one thing that I've been able to do is actually get responses from people via Twitter DMs. You can see in the Twitter course, we messaged SassWiz and got an affiliate link to sell his course. So that was the base of the entire L Software King profile, was negotiating that affiliate deal. So Twitter DMs do work. Let's talk about some things here. What should you do? Number one is establish a good Twitter profile first. Don't just create an account and start DMing. Vishal, do you remember some of the differences? Because if you saw the video, we just remade Vishal's profile on Twitter. You can check that out below. What were some of the differences between what you were doing before on Twitter and what we did with your profile?
Well, there is no niche for my account. Literally, and after the tear down of my niche, the messaging is become too powerful that someone valuable person is messaging me.
I turned Vishal from just normal guy into personality that would be my assistant. So we replaced his profile picture with a custom NFT. I made this NFT. We need to figure out how to give you this NFT, but I will. I changed the banner to something that's more specific for his niche and rewrote the profile. So if your profile looks like Vishal's, you're more likely to get a response as well. I used this as an example recently when I was talking about DMs. There was this guy named Sass Savant, and he stood out in all the other Twitter DMs. And so I responded to him. You can see Sass Savant has, first of all, he's got a name that seems like SassWiz. It seems like Cold Email Wizard. Seems like the type of people that I'm already associating with. Wealth Squad Vishal also is the exact same way. So if we're talking to people in the make money Twitter space, they're more likely to see your DM now because your name is Wealth Squad Vishal and your Twitter profile is this NFT. Same with Sass Savant. It's this picture of him with laser eyes, and he's named Sass Savant, so I was more likely to respond. Versus someone like Mungoni Ashley, who says how to join LinkedIn. So That's number one. Establish a good profile first. Follow Twitter 10K. Number two is get to the point. So don't drag the conversation out with formalities. And more importantly, don't go too soft and don't go too hard. Meaning, don't just say hi, because I'm never going to respond. I'm not going to respond to a hi. I get a million of these. Hello, could you give some advice where to look for investors in a gold mine, in Europe? Thank you. This is literally what I have. Sir, I am a new graduate and I want to help. Any help on how to earn something so I can also feed on? I don't have a job for now, thank you. How would you respond to that?
I can't even reply.
Right, there's nothing even to say.
There's nothing.
Yeah. Instead, he should just list it out his skills and say, I can help you with that.
That works, yeah. SAS Savant, I did respond to him. So let me show you a good Twitter DM that got a response. He said, yo, it's Mumbai, right? Next week? With a little message. That's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Asking a yes or no question that's very specific to a busy person, great way to get them to respond. Asking for something that requires advice or asking something that's not even a question, like how do I LinkedIn? That's a good way to not get a response. So if you're out here and you're DMing people and you're wondering why you're not getting a response, are you asking yes or no question? One. Are you asking questions that could easily be answered? Two. And are you asking questions or are you just saying the word hi? Also, all good to know. Piece of advice here is get into their notifications. Comment on the content so that they're familiar with their name. They might even check your profile so that they're not going in completely blank. One thing that works for me, actually, is writing comments on my tweets is a great way to get me to look at you, because in DMs, I'm getting hit from so many different angles. And I could only assume that this is worse for somebody like Elon Musk. He's probably getting hit from all angles, honestly. He's probably getting hit on the messages side. He's getting hit on the comment side. He's getting hit on the likes and follows. I've already found this too. I used to think that if you follow somebody and you have enough followers and stuff, you'll be able to get them to follow you. But I'm digging in every day and I'll see like someone random will pop up. Like Twitter will suggest like you should follow this guy, and I'll look at him and he'll be following me. And like the last one I saw had like 130,000 followers. So I didn't know this person followed me. So that's not a good way to do it. But get into their notifications, make sure you're engaging with them. Another cool thing that SAS Savant had that other people didn't have is he was being followed by some of the people that follow us. So if you can get some people that we follow, or I follow, to follow you, or some people that Elon Musk follows to follow you, then you're good. I think I have one follower in common with Elon Musk, if I remember correctly. So if you can get somebody to follow you that's also following the big name person, that's great. I've been lucky enough to have a few of these people follow me, like the CEO of T-Mobile. And the reason why he did is because we made that awesome video about him a while ago. We made that documentary about him. So John Ledger, former CEO of T-Mobile, is now a nice connection because he's followed by 2.5 million people or whatever it is, maybe 6 million people. He's followed by a lot of people. So now I have a connection in common with a ton of different people. So if you can get some of these people to follow you, it's a way to stand apart, because in the Twitter DMs, here, okay, Andrew, Signing Day Academy, he just sent some link. But you can see he's followed by Andre, Samuel Thompson, and 2 others you follow. So if I'm quickly scanning the DMs for people I know, now I'm more likely to click on Andrew, and then he just sent some nonsense, so I'm going to ignore him. But if he had sent a good question, I would answer it right there. If you want to see more examples of how to use Twitter DMs to get people on your podcast or to get people to let you sell their course via affiliate, check out twitter10k.com. We have a ton of examples on how we did that inside the course. Also, if you want to win the Rolex, make sure you're subscribed down below. And I'll talk to you soon. Check out all of our past videos. We've done over 1,000 videos now on business and sales. So check all those out. Like the video down below and leave a comment. What do you think about Twitter DMs? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? What are some of your favorite DMs? Let's talk Twitter down below. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman. That's all I got to say.